What up? What's up? What's up? What's up? That's my terrible impression of Martin Lawrence for you guys that know the Martin Show. But what's up, everybody? What's up, Steeler Nation? We in the building. We rocking. We got us a win, but it wasn't the best win. It wasn't the best win of the night. Well, I say up tonight. I don't know how the second game is going to play out. I'm definitely going to watch, what's left of that after we get through the show here. But what's up, Steeler Nation? We got one, man. We starting off, we starting off with the win finally again earlier in the season. You know what I mean? This one, it felt decent because it was an ugly win and we still got the win, right? But y'all know how we do, man. Y'all know how we do. First and foremost, let me say what's up to the early viewers, so let's get that out of the way. I'm going to read a few of the names to the good loyal folks. We'll do that, and then we'll have at it. So there's quite a few people already watching. I appreciate you guys with the early viewership, already 76 live viewers. So first and foremost, let's start at the top. Freeman Marcus, my good brother Kenyon in the building as always. My man C. Antoine Hill, Jordan Mid, my brother Tony, my brother-in-law. I don't even put the law in there. That's my man right there, Tony. In the building. Who else in here early? Extra Black, Real Facts, Rajon 39, Builder's Life. Who else we got in here? Let's see. Luis D. Hello, Miss Lanisha. How you doing this lovely evening? Mark Killer. I don't know if I've seen that name before, but how are you? I don't know if I've seen Freeman Marcus before. How are you? All of the new viewers, I got to welcome everyone. And if you have been here before and I didn't see you before, my bad. Who else? J Waller 412. Official Jumpman is in the building. Who else we got in here? Thomas August Weinart. Hope I said that correct. Tomas, maybe. Is it Tomas the way it's spelled? So welcome. How you doing? Who else we got? We'll read a few more. Jarrell Williams. And we'll end it with T. Brandt. How's everybody doing? So y'all know how we do. First and foremost, if you're new to the show, let me give you guys a, little piece, history. I got some small background of how we do things. If you're new to my channel, the show, let me just give you a quick rundown. All right. Basically what we do each and every week after a game, immediate reactions, post-game reactions, raw emotion. As you can see, I got my coach's hat on. I hate the little bend in the hat. I hate that. That's just me personally. I'm one of those guys that always wore hats for style, and I like the brim to be like this. I hate the coach's hat. But hey, since we talking about post-game show and I'm giving my thoughts, I'll have the coach's look tonight. But again, how we usually do it, man, we give the post-game reaction. This is raw emotion. Things that we say could be wrong. Things that I say could be right. When we come back on Terrible Towel Tuesday, which in this case will be tomorrow, that's usually where I give a little more thoughts of the game. I've had time to maybe rewatch it a little bit, give some thoughts on that. And in most cases, I have the all 22 footage. We won't have that in this case because most of you guys you may or may not know, all 22 doesn't usually come out till about 48 hours after your game has ended. So in this case, we're not going to have all 22. And even if we got it, I wouldn't have the time to put it together because, again, I don't do this as my only job. I have a regular day job as well. So I wouldn't have time that quick to really study the all 22. But that's usually what we do on Terrible Towel Tuesday. We discuss briefly the last game. We also talk about the all 22, show a few plays and things like that, reflect on that, and then we talk about the upcoming opponent. So I think what we'll probably do tomorrow is we'll talk a little bit more about what we go into tonight, and we'll see where it takes us. We can look ahead to the Broncos. Again, another reason why I want to kind of check them out tonight. And then maybe I'll do a special show later in the week. Maybe I can get maybe a show or something going maybe Wednesday to look at some all 22 footage. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But the way the post-game show works, we're going to talk about I usually start off with the first, defensive drive, and then I come back with the first offensive drive, and then I talk about a few things that stood out as far as stats and things like that, and then I just go to key moments, right? And I have a bunch of them, and that's what we do. Then I take phone calls. So if you guys want to call in, hopefully Blog Talk Radio is being kind to us tonight. We'll let you call in. The phone number is right there on the screen, but I'll read it to you as well. 619-924-0818. We take a few phone calls, and hopefully, I hope I get to the point where there's so many calls that I can't get to them all. You know what I mean? So we'll see how that goes. But without further ado, guys, let's try to get through this as fast as possible. Let me pull out my trusty, worthy notepad here. iPhone. Today's technology, right? Let's see, what do we have here? Let's talk about injuries first and foremost. James Conner has some type of ankle situation, and I haven't watched the post-game conferences yet. So at the moment, I wouldn't know, who's hurt, who's not. Again, like I said, I haven't watched any of that yet, so I don't know the full extent. But we do know that Conner had some type of ankle injury, and he did not return into the game, and we saw Benny Snell carrying the mail. We're going to talk about him a little bit later. Stefan Wisniewski also went down, and again, I don't know to what extent. I don't know how, hurt he is. I don't even know what he was favoring and what he wasn't favoring, right? So I don't know what actually happened to him. I'll get that information either here from the chat, or I'll get that information once I'm able to watch the post-game conferences myself. But the big one, guys, and this one we could pretty much see for ourselves, Zach Banner. Zach Banner went down, and it looks bad, primarily for the two reasons why it looks bad. When you look at how he went down, you could pretty much say it was no contact, because it was as he was going into his pass block, the knee seemed to give away. A lot of times, guys, when things like that happen, you think about, Teddy Bridgewater, for instance, when he got injured some years ago. A lot of times when it's a no contact injury and it's lower leg or what have you, it's anywhere from knees, MCLs and PCLs and meniscus. And, we see guys go down like that. We saw some guys in the NFL yesterday go down with an Achilles injury. So doesn't look good. And the second reason why it didn't look good is when they panned back to him after the commercial, you see Ben Roethlisberger consoling him, kind of telling him, hang in there. You can get the idea. He's basically telling them, look, we'll get over this, or, you were an important piece, whatever. Other guys coming over, you see his face. And anytime you see a man with that type of look on his face, tears in his eyes on the sideline of a football field, it's not good. And then after that, we saw him carted off. So you can expect that Zach Banner probably has a serious injury. That sucks, because now we got some rearranging we're going to have to do. Okay, next up. Defensive possession. First defensive series since, the Steelers were able to, to defer and we kicked off. The Giants go empty set on the very first play. I thought that was interesting, because we all know in years past, not so much last year, a little bit last year, but in years past, the Steelers have had trouble defending the empty set. So it was interesting seeing the Giants come out with that early, and they stuck with that, a pretty good amount throughout the game. Steelers give up a 3rd and 11. We ran zone. We didn't get the pressure. Daniel Jones able to fit it in there. Ola Adeniyi or Adeniyi. I still don't know how to pronounce his last name, so somebody maybe can help me with that. Ola gets a huge tackle for loss on Saquon Barkley. And then Jones, what did I say here? Jones freeze, no play with the... I said hard Jones day. I must have wrote this wrong. The phone be giving you, the phone be doing autocorrect. So I don't know what I was saying here. But what I was attempting to say is on the 4th and 1. Oh, I know what I was trying to say. You heard the audio where Jones was saying no play. You heard him coming out the huddle, no play, freeze. That is interesting, and that's what we're getting more of now that there's no crowds involved. We're getting more audio and things like that. So that was cool to hear that. So, the defense should have known, don't do anything on 4th and 1. And then Deontay Johnson muffs the punt. So that was terrible. We're going to talk a little bit about that a little bit later as well. Now, on the next first that I want to talk about, of course, is the offensive first. The Steelers come out in 11 personnel. So it was cool to see us start out like that. 3 wide receivers. You saw Juju. You saw James Washington. You saw Deontay Johnson. We went 3 and out. Run game looked weak. And solid defense by the Giants on 3rd down. They were kind of confusing Roethlisberger early. And then we did notice, and shout outs to my good brother Kenyon, because Kenyon mentioned this as well. I didn't see it on this drive. Chase Claypool was playing in the slot. I didn't see that. So he said Claypool was playing in the slot, I think, on that third down, but we went 3 and out, so it really didn't matter. But that's something to keep an eye on. Let me give a shout out really quick, man, to you guys that are donating in the chat. Let me read your comments because, of course, that's one of the benefits of, if you want to call it a benefit of donating. I'm going to stop what I'm doing and give you your full attention. Shout outs to Shadow Slayer. He says, Steven Nelson played bad. Hope he turns it around. And Kenyon need to call him Stud Dupree tonight. And your thoughts on Claypool. I'll get to Claypool in a minute. And Kenyon, speaking of which, maybe we'll get you on. And Tony, if you're free, maybe you guys can come tomorrow since we don't have any all 22. I can let the people hear your thoughts as well, verbally about the game. So maybe we could do that. Real Fact says Snell feature back next week. Slim down, which we all predicted he would do. Looking like he might make a second-year jump, similar to Bell in 14. Kenyon knows that's my guy. There you have it. I have nothing to disagree with there. We all did say we hoped that Benny Snell would come in and look better. And I was going to talk about this later, in the show when I got to Benny Snell. Well, I'm going to get to him in a second, to be honest. Did you notice on that one play when he got around the edge, he had a little burst to him? Got past the defense. He do look quicker. And, I like that. I like his demeanor. Listen, me and my father-in-law, Leonard, who's probably watching here, Leonard likes the shifty running back, meaning he likes guys that can create their own running lane, if you will, like Bell used to do, like Saquon Barkley is capable of doing. Didn't do it tonight, but he did do it, in the past game. And I was explaining to Leonard, you're not incorrect. I don't disagree with you, but I like Snell. I like Snell for what he is. He is a hard-nosed, straight-on runner. Got a little shiftiness to him. He's not going to juke you out of your boots or nothing like that, but he has enough wiggle. Like as far as, boom, a quick, the quick foot in the ground, and he has enough of that. But he don't really seem to lose yards. He has that straight head, that north and south, man, type of run style, power, and enough speed to pick you up 10 to 15 yards. You see what I'm saying? So I like Benny Snell for what he is. Hopefully, Anthony McFarland, who was not active tonight, will be the complement in terms of speed and a guy that can house it. So we might have a pretty nice combination in the works. We'll just have to keep an eye on it and see. Now, I might as well get to it right now with Benny Snell, man. Let's talk about this really quick. How about the run defense by the Pittsburgh Steelers? As Benny Snell got off, but what about Saquon Barkley? Guys, do y'all know that Saquon Barkley, I got it right here, 15 carries for 6 yards. 6. Saquon Barkley, one of the premier running backs in the NFL, had 6 yards on 15 carries. Wow. I will say this. They don't seem to have the best offensive line, but at the end of the day, if you're in the NFL, you can only play who's matched up against you. So the Steelers were supposed to dominate in that regards if their offensive line ain't that great. So I'm not going to look at that and say, well, maybe our run D ain't that good. No. I'm still going to give us credit. And we'll wait and see how we do versus a better offensive line and when they can run the football. Understand what I'm saying? But as it stands right now, that run defense was outstanding. You've seen all kinds of guys getting into it. Ola, had a couple plays out there, right? Alu had some good plays. He looked good when he was in there. Even that backup guys was coming out, and I'm going to get to Highsmith a little later as well. Looking good, right? And again, one could say they're not going up against the best offensive line, but listen, if you out there, you out there. So there you have it. Benny Snell. And excuse me, guys, I think I said it earlier, but I know we got a lot more viewers coming in. If you're going to see me looking this way, I got my notes here on my phone, man. So excuse that. I try to keep my eyes in the camera, so it's like I'm looking at you guys, trying to be, more direct to you guys. But I'm going to be looking away from time to time because I'm reading. Benny Snell, man, 13 carries for 119 yards. And as I say that, let me just confirm that to make sure I have the right number. I got the stats pulled up here on the app. the NFL app, but let me just make sure that was the final number. Yes. Oh, excuse me. 19 carries for 113 yards. 19 for 113. No touchdowns, but we need you to get no touchdowns tonight. We just need, Benny Snell to carry the mail when he did. An average of 5.9. And if you look at it a little sooner than that, let's give him the other stat, because that last one was kind of us trying to run the clock out, right? The 18 carries for 112 is the one that stands out to me the most, because he was 6 point something as far as average, per carry or whatever. But listen, man, Benny Snell did what he had to do. I loved it. And one other thing I want to talk about really quick as well before I get to the key moment to the game. I'm a little concerned about the offensive line, guys. This is before injury. Offensive line didn't play that great early on. They started to improve a little bit late in the game. The run game was a little stagnant, and when it worked, it worked. There were times when I guess we schemed it right and we got the right block and the holes opened up, but there were other times where it just looked very muddled. Early on in the game against the pass, I hate to say it, guys, but the precursor to what I'm about to say, and I'm going to give my good brother Kenyon the credit here because he mentioned it to me, in text before I even thought about it. There were pretty much three new offensive linemen in a starting role that started out tonight. Okay, no David DeCastro, so that introduced Wisniewski. Zach Banner, which is his first time actually starting at right tackle, and then Matt Fowler getting the start at guard, right? So I think, right? Isn't that how it would have went? Because it would have been Banner. Yeah, Wisniewski stepped in for DeCastro, and then Fowler played the other guard, and then the left tackle was Villanueva. So you got to give them a little bit of, not a pass, but you kind of have to look at it and say, okay, new unit starting out, it's going to be a little rough. Here's the one guy I don't think I can give a pass to, and I've tried, but we started seeing his decline, man, early, last year. Big Al ain't looking like Big Al no more. And Kenyon and Tony laughed at me as we text, tonight in the group chat. Big Al looking like Little Al to me. That's his name right now to me. Little Al. Little Al won't getting it done, man. It was a lot of times when Little Al was getting pushed back. Even on that one play, that 1 3rd down where Ben held the ball a little too late. It's still, Big Al got bullied on that play. I'm a little concerned with this O-line, man. I'm going to be honest. We'll see. It's going to be patchwork. And I acknowledge that it's going to be patchwork, but we'll see what happens. And in a moment, guys, I'm going to pause for a second because the chime is going to go off for the donation, and I got a question about that. So I'm going to, when it goes off, you're going to see me pause for a moment, and then I'll tell you guys the question I have. First of all, let's say thank you to Leonardus for the donation. And I want to ask you guys, the applause that you hear for the donation, is that too loud? In my software, it seems to be turned down, but for whatever reason in the headphones, it's extremely loud. So I want to make sure to you guys it's not overly loud. And if it is, I have to figure out what I have to do to turn it down. But yeah, I'm a little concerned with that line, man. I have to be concerned with that line. We'll see. And I don't want to be too critical. It's week 1. And again, you guys know this is the post game. It's raw emotion. I could be tripping until I look at some film, but it just ain't feel right early. And like I said, as the game progressed, they seemed to get a little better, but it just didn't give me that warm and fuzzy feeling all night, man. That y'all said y'all don't hear it. Okay. All right. So in that case, all right, cool. So it's just loud on my end. So in that case, let me actually turn it up because I want, people who donate to hear it. So what else? Anything else on the line before I keep it moving? Because I want to get into the keys of the game, man, the key moments. And then we can really have some discussion here. Was there anything else I wanted to address? Oh, hold up now. Can't forget this. Did y'all see that boy Bud Dupree out there? And, I'm picking with my boy Kenyon because y'all know Kenyon won't call him his name. Kenyon will continue to call him 48. But let me tell you, Bud can get back in Kenyon's good graces if he has a good season again. Because we all know the history of Bud Dupree. Last year was his best season by far. And Kenyon says, hey, a broke clock is right at least twice a day, right? So we got to see him do it more than once. I'm going to tell you, he got off to a good start tonight. Tonight, he was almost looking like stud out there. Not only just in the pass rush game, but listen, he did what he does well, very well. That boy plays the run game. It's a combination of him setting the edge. It's a combination of him, timing the snap. He can get off. There's no question about that. That's one thing that you cannot take away from Bud Dupree. The boy can get off the line and close down and shut down backside runs fairly quick. He was out there balling tonight. We're going to talk about him again when I get to the key moments because he made a key moment as well, which ended up in a turnover. The boy was balling tonight, man. You got to give him his credit. Steven Nelson, man. Where you at? You over there? Come here real quick. I need you to step into my office. Come on over here, Steven. Come on over here, man. Let's have a little conversation. Now, Mr. Nelson, I have to wait for the film on that first touchdown because it looked like, you kind of lost your man. He put a little double move on you. And, as we look at it from the TV view, and I'm going to look at it again, Minka had to make a decision. Minka was in a compromising position there, being in the middle of the field. He had to decide, what area he was going to cover, hesitated for a moment, and kind of looked at the guy that was more in the middle, came down a bit, and Slayton was able to get behind him. But he outran Steven Nelson. Now, let me tell you something. Listen, Slayton is fast. I know that. But that one is upon further review. I personally think you got beat. But the second touchdown, even though it was late in the game, that was just a pure slant. Step into my office, sir, because last year you had only, I think PFF said you had only given up one touchdown. You gave up 2 tonight. Now, I still have confidence in you, Mr. Nelson. I really do. Because I think you were an anchor in this defense last year. But after tonight's game, sir, I have to look at you and nudge you a little bit and say, hey, is it rust? Was it the lack of the crowd? Was it you don't have your football legs under you yet? I ain't sitting you down or nothing like that. I have confidence in you, Steven Nelson. But I need you to explain to me what happened out there tonight. Okay? We need you to get it together. We can't have that, sir. We can't have that. That's all. That's all I got on Steven Nelson. Oh, man, don't be so harsh, Shadow Slayer. He ain't going to turn into no Artie Burns, man. Give that man some credit, man. Let's see. All right, let's get to the key moments, guys, and then we'll get to the phone, and then, we'll be out of here, man. Like I said, I'm not going to hold us too long tonight. Want to be in and out. Again, guys, I know we could talk for days, but I have to be considerate of those who will not watch will watch the show that when it's not live. You don't want, let me be honest in saying this, because y'all know I always keep it real with my crowd. We're all family. It's bad for business sometimes when things are too long. People don't always stick around for the whole thing. So I gotta find that sweet spot. You don't want no 3-hour show, and at the same time, you don't want a 20-minute show. So keeping it right around the hour mark is good. Let's see. Key moments. First one. Deontay Johnson muffs the punt. And the Steelers were able to still hold to a field goal, which is great. Mr. Johnson, hold on, guys. Hey, DJ, come here real quick. Now, I'm not going to keep you in here as long as I did Mr. Nelson, but come here, man. Let me talk to you for a second. Mr. Johnson. Yeah, that's all I got to do for you right there. Just give you that hard stare for a moment. What were you doing? Do you not know that your coach Tomlin sat down another guy who was supposed to be the punt returner when we played the Chicago Bears in Chicago? Do you know why he sat him down and we didn't see him return again? Do you know why? You guessed it. Ball security. Also, Mr. Johnson, even though you did do something very great for us last year, you actually gave us a return punt for touchdown, something that we hadn't seen in many moons, especially when Novak Switzer was back there returning kicks. We hadn't seen that since Juju Smith, not Juju, Antonio Brown. Yeah, AB. That was the last time I think we had seen a punt return for touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. Juju, however, if I'm not mistaken now, and correct me on this, guys, Juju, I think, was the last guy that returned a kick for a touchdown against Cleveland. I think that was 2 years ago. So that's why Juju came to mind. But as far as a punt return for touchdown, had been a long time. But Deontay, Mr. Johnson, you did that. So we excuse some of your ball security issues you had last year, because you had a few. And here you come in this game. We got you back there. Everybody's happy. I know I am, and everybody else watching the show here, we all happy that Deontay Johnson is back there returning kicks because we saw his shiftiness last year. And what do you do on the very first punt that you feel? You muff it. And you know what else you did, Mr. Johnson? You had some drops out there early. You had some drops out there. But you know what? And I thought I wasn't going to keep you this long, but I'm going to get you on your way. You kind of made up for it later because the old Deontay started showing up. You know, the route running, the precision, you know, coming free across the middle, doing some of the grunt work like that. You made up for it. Ben was finding you. But I just need you to focus on ball security. And I saw Coach Tomlin put you back. He put you back there again to return punts. Now, I don't know if it's because you're the only guy we got and a change might be made, but we're going to have to keep an eye on that, sir. I would love for you to stay back there, but we can't have you muffing the ball, brother. All right, you can go. Let's get to the next key moment, man. Steelers were able to force a 3-and-out after the second drive for the Giants, which was huge, you know, to get the defense a little confidence. Big time catch, man, to keep the drive going by Chase Claypool. And let me tell you something, man. Chase Claypool is going to be a factor this year. The boy got some snaps out there, and what a catch. What a catch. And you know why I got to give Mr. Claypool? And Mr. Claypool, you ain't got to come in the office. I'm going to just give you one of these. Great job. Great job, buddy. The reason why I'm going to give Mr. Claypool the ultimate respect. The boy just came out of college. You know when they used to just put one foot down? Did you see the footwork? Not only did he use his big body to contort and go up and get it, did you see the footwork? That's not easy by a big guy, a guy of his stature, and also a guy who just came out of college. You know, that muscle memory might kick in. You might just drag the one toe. Outstanding work. That lets me know that you've been working on your craft. That lets me know that the reports that we were hearing coming out of the training camp is correct. And Chase Claypool was showing up big time tonight. Round of applause to you, sir. Let's throw that out there right now. Round of applause for Chase Claypool. Job well done, sir. Job well done. And I also have here the O-line not looking good early. And we already talked about that. We already talked about Minka getting caught up in the middle on that play. And then Nelson gives up the touchdown. Then let's talk about that TJ Watt interception. That was also another huge and key moment. And listen, TJ, man, and I hate to say becoming because he's pretty much already there. But for sake of argument, TJ Watt is definitely becoming the all-around player. I mean, recognizing what was happening there to get that interception. Listen, and I was saying this to my father-in-law, Leonard, as well while watching the game. And I want to say this to a lot of other, I'm going to just say general fans. And that's not a negative term. When I say general fan, I want you guys to understand what I mean. Let me get a little closer, man. Get the mic a little closer. I want you guys to understand what I mean when I say the general fan. What I'm saying is most people watch football just as a casual fan. Not a lot of people watch football the way I might watch it, or Kenyon, and a lot of you guys here in the chat, where we're really analyzing what's happening, right? So I was telling my father-in-law, Leonard, he was saying, I ain't heard my man's name tonight much. Because I think he had stepped away for a moment when he got the interception. I think. Can't recall, but the thing is, he's used to hearing sacks. But what I was telling Leonard, I said, but you got to pay attention. He getting pressure. Okay? And that's all you can ask for out of your elite pass rusher is consistent pressure. He got pressures tonight. And when PFF or whoever does their statistics and, the charting, they're going to definitely have pressures down for TJ Watt and Bud Dupree. So he was doing his thing. Him and Bud, and especially Bud, they were being disruptive. And there was times when TJ was almost there, but you have to also take into account there were times when Daniel Jones was getting rid of that ball. You know what I mean? 3-step, bam. But just because you wasn't hearing his name a lot, he was doing his thing, and then he gets a turnover. You see what I'm saying? He gets an interception. So even when he ain't putting up sack numbers, he still is being TJ Watt, and that's all you can ask for. The delay of game on 3rd and 1 and no timeout. Y'all remember that? That was a key moment. And then Ben finds Juju on a 3rd and goal. The Giants stay with the blitz, and Juju comes open across the middle, and Boswell misses the extra point. So let me talk about that really quick. If you've been watching the Steelers for a very long time, and like I said, if you kind of understand X's and O's, or even if you don't, you pay attention to what the Steelers do. A lot of times when you see Juju lined up in that spot, he's running across her, right? It's either going to be a slant, or it's going to be an over route, or it's going to be, something. He's usually going across the middle, especially at that down and distance. So when the Giants were showing that blitz, I remember looking at Lennon. I think they bluffing. I thought what they were going to do was drop a couple of those guys out, because then if you do that, you're in a more optimal position to make a play with Juju coming across. If the right guys drop in the zone, that's a quick read. You might take that away. But as soon as I saw him and I saw the overload blitz, because you seen, number 20 was coming from the far right, Ben's left, but, us watching it, I was like, bruh, you serious? I was like, that's going to be a touchdown to Juju. Before he threw it, I said, oh, Juju's going to come open in the back of the end zone. And he did. Great design by the Steelers, but even more, I got to say the Giants helped us out on that one by sending all those guys overloading the right side of their defense. And then, come on, Boswell. Wizard of Boz. Hold on, guys. Bring yourself in. Bring yourself in here, Boswell. Come on in here. Close the door behind you, sir. Come on in here. Mr. Boswell, unfortunately for you, I have a good memory. I remember a season ago, you played like trash, sir. You did. You stunk it up. You and your buddy, Jordan Berry. And let me remind you before I dig into you. Where's your buddy Jordan Berry? He's no longer here. Do you know why? Because of his play. But you know what? Tomlin and the organization had a heart, right? And they said, you know what? That ain't like Wizard of Boz. Even I said that. That ain't like the Boz. The Boz was a great kicker. I hope he's not one of those guys that gets paid and then he gets lame right after that. You had a bounce back year. You did good. You did real good last year, but look at how you started this, sir. I can't even get the words out. You miss an extra point that put us behind the 8 ball, right? So automatically, we're going to have to make these points up somewhere. Luckily, it didn't come back to bite us. But then, after we score a touchdown, and we put some real distance between us and the Giants, guess what you do? You kick the ball out of bounds on a kickoff. Mr. Boswell, how long have you been doing this, sir? Huh? You know how wide that football field is? How is this possible? Anybody that can kick a football through an upright should be able to keep it in bounds on a football field. You put them in position to score. You put them on the 40. You have to explain that to me. You have to explain that to me. But you know what? Get out of the office before I say something really bad to you. I still believe in you, but let me tell you something. And I don't have it with me. But you're on a very short leash, buddy. Get your mind right. Okay? All right, get out of here. Sorry, guys, man. I keep bringing these dudes in the office, man, but I tell you, they boiling the grits, man. I tell you, they're boiling them. All right, let's see what else we got here. Big time sack by the veteran Vince Williams. Big time sack, man. It brought up a 3rd and 27. And then right after that, did we see Classic Ben in the 2-minute drill or what? Did we? Did we see Classic Ben in the 2-minute drill? Should I call Randy Feetner in the office, y'all? Y'all tell me. Should I call Randy Feetner in here? Y'all tell me, man. Because, listen, every time Ben Roethlisberger is in a no huddle, it seems like that offense seems to move, don't it? Just think back over the years. Remember that time when it's funny because they playing right now, but I remember this specifically. A little side note, because I was in Vegas, right? Remember when we played the Titans on Thursday night, a few years back? I was in Vegas for that, and I remember telling my wife and everybody that I was with, I was like, yo, I got to get back to the room, and it's funny because it's like 5-something in Vegas. Oh, man, let me tell you, when you out on the West Coast, especially when I was in LA one time, man, if you on the West Coast, that's got to be the best for sports, for sports watching. Your football starts as early as 10 o'clock, and the late game is at dinner time. I mean, you don't miss nothing. But anyway, I remember this specifically because we was, like I said, I was in Vegas. I said, look, let's take a little time out. I got to watch my Steelers, right? And y'all remember how Ben was perfecting the no huddle? Oh, my God. I mean, eating the Titans alive. That's just giving you an example. When Ben is in, even if it ain't no huddle, even if it's not no huddle, but when you can tell he's running the show and it's kind of like the muddle huddle. That's all I'm going to say. So, you know what, Feet? I'm going to give you a pass tonight. But you keep doing it. I'm telling you, coming in here. But yeah, man, Ben Roethlisberger with the great 2-minute drive. And boy, that James Washington. Let me tell you something, man. James Washington, especially last year, coming into this season, he just makes big plays. What an effort. What an effort on that touch. The boy, look, he didn't even lower his shoulder. My man went off his feet, right? Comes down, contact is met, and he forces his way to the end zone. Round of applause, man. JW, man. Hats off to you, sir. Hats off to you. Round of applause, man. What an effort. But like I said, the 2-minute drill was pretty. It was popping right there. We get into the end zone. All right, I'm going to roll through this, guys, so we can get to the phone calls, man, because I've been yapping for 40 minutes, pretty close to it. Second half, Steelers get a return from McLeod. Did y'all see that? Boy, let me find out that we're going to have a decent returner back there. Almost got through there, got tripped up. But isn't it nice to start, beyond the 30? McLeod had a little pop in there, went to the left, quickly came back to the right and seen something. And the boy got speed. Let me find out that we might have an opportunity to have a decent kick return game. It's early. It was only one attempt, but I'm just saying that was a nice attempt. Good job to him. But the Steelers started to have had some decent runs with Snell. Then we were unable to convert a 3rd and 5, which was disappointing. Then the Steelers, this is the one that really gonna tick me off. Y'all ready? We give up a 3rd and 14, and the Giants was backed up. They were backed up. I don't even remember where they were at. It was on like the 6 or 7, maybe even shorter than that. We give up a 3rd and 13. Let me tell you why it ticked me off so much. It's not so much that we ran zone. Because, listen, in the NFL, guys, to always call the right play at the right time, that just don't happen. Okay? You can call man and get dusted. You can call zone and get dusted. The only critique that I have for Keith Butler in that situation, I understand why you send 4, because it worked earlier in the game where we were only sending 4 and you put a lot of coverage behind it. But the way we were controlling the game, I would have loved for the Mike Hilton blitz to show up then. Send one extra guy, even if it's Vinny or somebody up the middle. Force that ball out fast. Force it out fast. Don't let him sit back there, man, because if the 4 don't get home, Daniel Jones had all day and he converted a 3rd and 14. So that's my only critique. Again, listen, we might have sent 5 and then it still didn't work. I'm not an NFL coach, and guys, no coach gets it right every time. It's a chess match. It's a guessing game. Sometimes you run man, perfect call. Sometimes you run zone, perfect call. But at the same time, it could be vice versa. You could run zone and get beat. You could run man and get beat. You're never going to call the right play. But I just would have preferred, since we had Daniel Jones in a position that he was in most of the night, trying to get rid of the ball fast anyway, that's a moment when you got 14 yards to your advantage, send an extra guy and force that ball out of there. Would have loved to have seen that. Oh, but it gets worse. That was a 19-play drive, folks. 19 plays. They converted 4 out of 5 third downs and converted a 4th down. They might have converted 2 4th downs. I don't remember, but I know they converted at least one. A 19-play drive. And the defense was beyond spent. Them boys were sick. They were sick out there. But guess what? Kenyon. Say his name. Say his name, Kenyon. Bud Dupree. Bud Dupree gets pressure, and there was pure effort on that play. Chases Daniel Jones out of the pocket, continues to come to him, hits his arm just enough for that ball to flutter up, and big Cam Hayward comes down with an interception. Cam Hayward. Tell me this. With all the guys that said they are secondary, did y'all think we were going to leave this game with an interception by TJ Watt and an interception by Cam Hayward? Tell me y'all saw that coming. That's interesting, ain't it? Shout outs to the good brother C. Antoine Hill, man. I appreciate the donation. He says, okay, start for the Steelers. Shazier will be missed. Yeah, man. Side note there. And maybe I'll get into that tomorrow a little more, but I'm glad Shay decided to go ahead and retire, man. Selfish fan in me would love to have seen him get back to what he was and imagine him and a Devin Bush at this point. Wow. But at the same time, it's too risky. You know what I mean? So I'm glad he's at peace with that. You know, he made some money, and I think, you know, whatever he decides to do, he's going to be successful. So shout out to Shazier. Definitely will be missed. Juju recovers the Benny Snell fumble. Benny Snell had a good run later in the game, but, you know, shout outs to Bradbury. I always give him a shout out because I've told you guys this story before. My wife's cousin is his agent. You know, her first cousin is his agent. Well, I don't think he's her first cousin. I think second. I don't know. But anyway, and shout outs to Chris, man, if he happens to see this. He's the agent of Bradbury, so it's always funny, you know, when I see him play, because I'm like, yo, it's good to see, you know, his man do his thing. You know, that obviously helps him as the agent. He's also the agent of Jesse Bates. Remember, guys, when I told y'all a while back that even they thought Bates was coming to the Steelers when we took Edmonds. But anyway, shout outs to Bradbury, shout outs to Chris. Juju, man, being Johnny on the spot, because that could have been crucial in the game right there, right? Heads up play by Bradbury. Strips Benny Snell. You got to protect that football, sir. But just imagine if Juju is not being Johnny on the spot and gets the ball back. That was huge and very critical for us. I already talked about Boswell kicking the ball out of bounds. The Hilton sack on that later possession was key. We were able to get a 3-and-out, and again, sending Hilton, y'all know we're accustomed to seeing that. Butler did it maybe about 4 or 5 times a night. My math could be off there. I'm just trying to, recall it in my mind. Like I said, I would have loved to have seen that on the 3rd and 14, backed up on their own goal line. I'm just saying. What else I got here? Last few couple things, man. The touchdown to Juju. What a throw by Ben Roethlisberger. I think Ben started getting his rhythm later. He looked a little rusty early, and that's to be expected. But that was a nice throw. The final touchdown to Juju was nice. Juju, listen, we see a resurgence of Juju, right? Okay, he didn't have, a tremendous amount of yards, but let me get to the stats. Juju what was he here? 6 catches, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'll take that. I'll take that from the guy who's basically being, coined as the number 1 right now. Juju looked good out there, man. Juju threw some good blocks. If you go back and look at the run game, recovering the fumble. And like I said, the 2 touchdowns. Juju looked like he's back to being Juju. Now, when we play some more competition, yeah, we'll see. But I'm just saying that connection seems to be there. And Chase Claypool, man. Chase Claypool, I'm liking seeing what we're doing with Chase early, getting him on the field. I love that little play call at the end to finish the game. And I love the guts there by Tomlin to just say, let me just go for it and end the game now. Like the little slick end around to Claypool. That was all right right there. So I like that. Ebron showed up with a catch for 18 yards, but it was a big catch at the time. Deontay Johnson, again, rebounded. 6 catches for 57 yards. James Washington, obviously, didn't have many catches, but 2 catches for 34 yards. That's a good, decent average and a touchdown. I'll take it. And then Big Ben. When the last time we seen a 22 for 32 type of game? It's kind of, mid-game for a passing quarterback when you consider some of the other guys. I mean, my guy, Russell Wilson. Y'all see my boy Russell yesterday? Lord have mercy. That was just ridiculous. But I'll take this. 21 for 32, 229, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Last time we said that about Juju, about Ben Roethlisberger. So that's about all I got, man. Again, it's already at 48 minutes, so I'm going to have to be quick with the calls, guys, if there are some. Let's see. Oh, your boy Highsmith showed up too. Highsmith had a couple plays, chase Daniel Jones out of the pocket. You're seeing his pass rush ability show up in game. Ola has some, decent moments. So it's really good to see, man, the backup players get a chance. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with Connor. Again, Kenyon made this call during the game. It's clear. Even in this game 1, and I know it's early, but I think we're looking at the future. I think Benny Snell has the potential to probably be the featured back. I don't think James Conner gets re-signed. It's unfortunate, man. He just can't stay healthy. But when Benny Snell is able to perform like that, and you have him and Connor, there's not a reason to re-sign Connor, guys. Let's just face the facts. Whether you hate him or love him, I'm just talking business here. I would love to see Anthony McFarland, and maybe we'll see a little McFarland now if Connor is down. Maybe we'll see him. Jalen Samuels got a few touches tonight, but I want to see McFarland, man. I want to see what he could do with his speed. And like I said, if Connor is down, maybe we'll see what's up with that. But outside of that, guys, and I know that was a lot, that's my initial gut reactions to this game. I'll probably have a little more detailed information to talk about tomorrow. Let me get to a few of these calls, and I'm sorry I took up so much time, but y'all don't mind, right? Y'all here for that. Let's see what we got. And again, I'm going to have to ask you guys to be very, very, very brief. We have 5 calls in the queue. I need y'all to be in and out. In and out. Make your point and dip. All right, so first up, looks like we have area code 862. Let me say this as well in case Blog Talk is bugging. If you cannot hear me when it says unmute, if you're not hearing me in the phone, we can hear you. I can hear you. The chat can hear you. You just can't hear me. So I just want to say that in case it doesn't work. So for anyone who may be new, throughout the season, Blog Talk will probably fail us at some point. So whenever that happens, you will hear the voice will say unmuted. Just start talking, even if you can't hear me back. And another thing, make sure if you're on the phone, mute your computer or whatever device you're listening to the stream on, because obviously there's a delay there and we don't want to hear that audio in the background, okay? So be quick, guys. I'm talking like a minute or less. State your biz and let's go. Area code 862, live on the line. What you got for us? What's up, man? Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate it, man. And remember, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. So that's why, too, I'm kind of, speeding through it. We'll be back tomorrow. So if y'all want to call back tomorrow, matter of fact, I did say I'll have Kenyon on here. We'll let Kenyon talk, get his piece out about the game. But then we could just open it up to the callers and mostly have that as a show for you guys. So, but yeah, you're right. We can't be too hard on game one. You got to expect kind of everything we saw tonight. It's good to see that we still pulled out the win. Next up, area code 803. How's it going tonight? I'm doing good, man. Oh, no, you good?
Preseason motions almost. Saquon Barkley had to be frustrated tonight because he either had Vince Williams in his face, Ola Adeniyi in his face, and Bush in his face. Second point, I got to give credit to Cam Hayward, who made the interception, but had the whereabouts of keeping himself in the end zone. It's the little thing. And last part, this reminds me of old Chuck Noll, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Bill Cowell football. We had 6 to 7 minute drive in that fourth quarter. That was a key crucial thing with the running and the mixing up. That really shortened the game. And that's what we need is that closer. And one more point, the offense finally took shape once we didn't get flustered by that, what I call a muddle blitz, when you get a bunch of guys standing around the line. We started throwing the crossing routes. We started opening up the game. And that right there really threw the Giants off. But thank you so much.
No problem, man. Appreciate you calling 803. And guys, let me apologize to y'all again. I do it every week, but we're going to try something different going forward. So let me tell y'all what I do for the newcomers that may not know. I have software on my computer where I can mute certain things, right? And a lot of times I keep the browser muted because sometimes I'm searching stuff or I might be looking at something that has sound and I don't want it to funnel through the stream. But silly me, I always forget that I have it off. Blog Talk is through a browser. So that's why you guys couldn't hear the first caller. Bonehead play. It's week 1 for me too, right? But I can't even use that excuse because I do it all the time. So going forward, what I'm going to do is just leave it on. And if you guys hear something by accident, then I can say, oops, let me cut that off really quick. It's better to do it that way than you guys missing calls. So yeah, great stuff by 803 as well as our man Jay Will that called earlier. He was basically saying he likes to start. Don't be so hard on the defense. You know, it's week 1. He expected Ben to be rusty and things of that nature. So that's basically what he was saying. But I appreciate both of those calls. Let's move on. 678. What you got for us tonight?
Thank you for taking my call, Sim. I just want to piggyback off a few things that you were mentioning. I, too, have a little concern about that offensive line. I definitely want to see continuity. You know, I want to see the same personnel in there week after week. And hopefully Chooks Okafor barely lost the job to Banner because we're going to need him for the rest of the season most likely because it looked bad, like you said. Also, Claypool, way to introduce yourself on your first catch. That's the way to introduce yourself to the NFL for sure.
Yeah.
And also, piggybacking off of what you said, Ola Denier, it was nice to see Ola Denier apply some pressure because we are going to need 48 and TJ Watt to be able to get, you know, some rest from time to time. And also, on 48, I appreciate what Kenyon be saying because, Sim, I used to be that same way with San Antonio Holmes. And it wasn't until that San Diego game when he ran that punt return back and then he started playing well all the way up into the Super Bowl. And hopefully Bud Dupree can do something like that too, with especially being a franchise season for him. But that's all I really had to say. Thank you for taking the call. I'll try to get back on again tomorrow evening. I want to open it up for somebody else to get a call in as well. Thanks for taking my call. Good night.
Man, thank you for calling. And what I'll do, guys, to keep it moving, I won't really respond to the calls. You know, the calls are kind of for y'all, too. So, great stuff there. I will say one little comment. Yes, a core 4. Hopefully it wasn't just, like they say, hyperbole. With Tomlin and them saying it was a close competition. Now, hopefully. All I know is when you lose, you lose. So, we'll see. Next up, and I think we're going to stop, guys, at 5:05. So that's 4 calls. So, again, guys, keep it short for me tonight. Tomorrow, we'll open it back up. Area code 609. What you got for us tonight?
What's going on, SimFBallCritic, man? Great night for the Steelers. You know, we came off with a slow start for Big Ben and stuff, but eventually later on in the game, he got it going. The defense, they balled out. Same thing as for the defense. They started off, you know, really rusty and stuff, but I felt as though throughout the game they got better and stuff. Alex Highsmith, you know what I mean? Well, not only Alex Highsmith, but the defense in general, they had Daniel Jones running for his life. You know what I mean? Shut down Saquon Barkley. You know what I mean? That's the best. You know, that's the best thing you want. Want to do as a defense, you know, stop the run. That way you can force the quarterback, you know, to throw the football all day and stuff. But I think we cannot start with these slow first drives and stuff because next week we got Denver and Drew Lock. They got weapons and stuff, so we got to really, you know, stop the gas pedal as soon as possible. Thanks a lot and have a good night.
Yeah, thank you for calling, man. I appreciate that. And yes, I will comment on that. We can't have those slow starts. We cannot have those slow starts, man. But, yeah, man, hopefully we'll put the foot on the gas, man, and get out the blocks a little early. Appreciate the call. Next up, area code 651. What you got for us?
How you doing, Sim?
Good. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. I'll just try to get it in quick because I know you're trying to make it short tonight. One, Claypool was open all night. He had a lot of open spots. I know Ben is rusty, and once he realizes his safety valve is going to be big. Deontay with the punts, you can tell he's not comfortable yet. Even on the second punt, he slid down on the ground to catch it. You know, and I think a lot of that got to do with I think they got a lot to do with not having the preseason and having people that's really running at you with bad intentions compared to practice. So I think that's one. But he showed back up later in the game. Highsmith is going to be real good. He looks like Woodley up top a lot to me, but
he's going
to be good. I'm waiting to see Matt Canada's touch on the offense. I didn't really see anything different tonight, but maybe it's because of the first game. I don't know. But I didn't see that. Two more things. Connor done, man. It's over for Connor. Like, he might play
stick a fork in him, man.
He's done. Yeah. Bro, it's over.
Oh,
it's over. And then I will say, we didn't see Mika make a big play, but the Mika factor was there because I want to say it was the play where on the Hayward touchdown, because he was coming at the quarterback and then he saw Barkley running out to the flat and he chased him, and it made the quarterback throw the pass, stop and throw the pass because he was under duress from Bud too. Throw the pass and that was the pick. So the Mika factor definitely was in effect because he made a decision right there. Oh, let me chase this man in the flat, because had he not, touchdown. But I was just trying to get it in real quick tonight, man. Thanks for having me. All right.
No question, man. Appreciate you calling. And yeah, let's say that really quick about Minka. Didn't hear his name a lot tonight, but that's a good sign. But yeah, I saw Real Facts and Kenyon speaking on it. Yeah, I think from early glance, man, it looked like Minka might have read it wrong on that touchdown. I'm still going to put a lot of that on Nelson as well, but I can't wait till I can actually see the all 22 of that. But that's what happens. And side note, because I sent this to y'all, know me and my fight for trying to make Madden a simulation. I sent that tweet to them right away. I said, look, even though it's my own team, did you see how Minka got caught making a decision? That's what we want to see in Madden. We want to see the defenders react instead of just floating and drifting. Y'all Madden players know what I'm talking about, the deep safeties. We got to have these guys reacting, and if they make the wrong play, they make the wrong play. One of the best safeties in the league did it tonight. See what I'm saying? But all right, I'm off that. Two more calls, guys. Area code 256 and then 505. 256, you up next. What you got for us, man?
Hey, yo, so Sim, good. Thanks for taking my call tonight. I got a couple with the cross where Daniel Jones threw crossbody all the way over to the field to Barkley to have a first down. That right there really can't happen right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I like the approach of the young guys on our defense. Like Ola, he was literally crawling on the ground to get the quarterback.
I like that. Yeah.
And the way Highsmith literally like chased, Jones out of bounds basically. I like that. I like how our young guys, were coming on, like, Claypool and everything. And to be honest with you, that last play, they're going fourth down. I like the aggressiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that Claypool, he could have scored on the play if he didn't lay down.
Yeah, if that was early in the game, I see him putting the shoulder down, and that might be a house call right there.
Yeah. I didn't see those other two guys getting over there fast enough to get it. He would have been down the sideline, I believe. That's what I was looking at. I was like, hold on, he laid down. He could have took it all the way to the house. But But that's all I was going to say tonight. Let y'all get some more calls in.
Appreciate it, man. And by the way, guys, before we take the last call, you guys are doing great with the timing. This is, if we could keep it like that, and the reason why I always say that, guys, is because as y'all saw tonight, I'm trying to make this thing grow. We got 359 live viewers at the moment. I'm hoping it's going to get to a point where I really don't mean this, but figure of speech. I hope it gets to a point where I can't even take all the calls. So that's why we got to keep them short, so we can get as many in as possible, because I don't want to cut calls off. But let's get to the last one, man. Area code 505. You are live. What you got for us?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you.
All right, cool. So I have two major concerns about this game. I'm happy that we won and all, but on offense, we have to start off better than that, man, because like the teams like the Ravens and the powerhouses in the AFC, they're going to get up on us if we're not able to have a fast start in the game. And also, number two, we had two really bonehead plays tonight. That one fumble by I forgot who it was, Snell. He had that fumble that was happily recovered by Juju, which is over like 4 Giants. Yeah, man. It was a great team win, but in my eyes, it's the same theme every year. We always make a lot of boneheaded mistakes, and in big games, it has hurt us in the past. And if we don't get that fixed, it's going to hurt us in the future too, especially against Baltimore and like in the postseason, things like that. Those are just my thoughts. That's all I got for you. Thanks for taking my call. Have a great night.
Hey man, thanks for calling. I appreciate that. And I agree. And Leonard, let me see if father-in-law is still in here. Hold on, guys. Y'all can hear me move the mic for a second. Let me just see if he's still in here. Cause Leonard is gonna appreciate that call right there. Let me see. Is he in here? Yeah, he is. Father-in-law Leonard, I know you like that call right there, because my man is absolutely right. And let me tell y'all, Leonard was telling me that the whole game. And I told Leonard, I said, you're right. He said, we can't do this against Baltimore, KC. He said, shoot, even in Texas, even though the Texans got beat by Kansas City, I mean, Deshaun Watson, you know what I'm saying? He got the X factor. There's no DeAndre Hopkins, but, you know, Buffalo. I mean, all of these teams that are decent, we can't have these slow starts. And I mean, and we have to be honest and say KC and Baltimore are the teams right now. Don't sleep on New England. Y'all saw how they looked yesterday with the Cam Newton effect, the Cam Newton offense. You think Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniel ain't gonna make it happen? So we cannot do that. Yes, our defense was great last year, and it looks like we might be good again. But I need to see Ben Roethlisberger, right? Okay, later in the game, he looked healthy. He looked like Ben had returned. I need to see more of that because, again, I don't want to be a selfish Steelers fan, but I would like to get back to the days where we could say, yo, we got a strong offense too because we got weapons. And I know a lot of people don't really believe that, but think about it. When you got a Ben Roethlisberger who's a vet, you know, it is no question when Ben is on his game, he's a great quarterback. When he's on, he can be off too. But you got that. You got Juju, whether you guys like Juju or not. Juju is definitely somebody who can do something. James Washington is a big play guy. Deontay Johnson is your route runner, your gadget guy that can get an open across the middle. Get Eric Ebron going. Mess around and get Vance McDonald going. Okay? Anthony McFarland, whenever he gets an opportunity. Benny Snell running the football. Chase Claypool, like my man said, who called, can't remember which call it was, but he said, what a way to introduce yourself to the NFL. We should be able to put some points up too. But these slow starts, you get behind against a team like KC, I don't care how good our defense is. Every NFL defense can be scored on. And for those that, you know, felt like the defense was rusty tonight, I did want to cap it by saying this, and then I'll read a few comments, guys, and then we'll get out of here. I do want to cap it off by saying there were moments tonight where the defense looked a little shaky, right? But one of the callers said it, and he said it best. Look, it's first game. You got to anticipate some rust. You got to anticipate guys being a little tired, and that 19-play drive didn't help. And to finish the drive the way Bud Dupree gets major respect from me for finishing that drive the way he did, chasing down Jones. And then, like my man said, and you know, Cam having the wherewithal to be like, let me stay in the end zone, right? But what do I say every year? If you can hold an NFL offense under 20 points or to a maximum of 20, 21, you can win football games. They scored 16 tonight. And the last touchdown was pretty much garbage time. I hate when we do that. I hate when we get a little lax on defense, but it worked, right? They burnt up a ton of clock. But you can't be mad at only allowing 16. That ain't bad, bro. So, hats off, man. And yeah, Bud went off tonight. So, all right, guys, let's read a few chats, man, and we're going to get out of here. For anybody that I missed in the phone queue, looks like 330. If you can get a call tomorrow, actually, you know, while I'm sitting right here, just to show you, and I missed a donation that I need to go back and read. I'm going to do that here in a second, too. Brent Fox, shout outs to him. I'm going to write this down right now. I'm going to start getting cheating with my memory. So let me put area code 330. I promise if you can call tomorrow, Here we go. Get on early. If you can call back tomorrow for Terrible Towel Tuesday, I got it written down here. You will definitely, I will jump you ahead of any of the other callers, man, just to try to get you a chance because you couldn't get on tonight. But remember, guys, Terrible Towel Tuesday will still be happening tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Brent Fox says, off to a good start. Zach Banner going down almost made me shed a tear, though. Yeah, man, that one hurt because, guys, you know what that man has gone through. And he finally get a chance, man. And again, I don't want to speculate, but it looks like his season could be in serious, serious jeopardy. I'm looking at the TV here, guys. It looks like I'm missing a great football game here. 3rd and 12. What was that, an interception? But they got 7 seconds left in the half. It's 7-7. So I'm definitely going to, take a look at the second half here once I'm off. Oh, and they're in scoring range. Tennessee is on the, what's this day on? About the 14. So they're probably going to get a field goal out of that at least. But then let me see if this is a catch. And I know y'all don't care about this, but I'm a nutty football fan, man. I got to watch them all. But anyway, let's read a few comments, man, and then we'll get out of here. Wave Dave 10 says, people want everything to be perfect. Like this is Madden on rookie mod with everybody on 99 overall. Right. And again, man, you guys will hear this. I can take these off now. You'll hear me for, people who may be relatively new to my style and all of that. I was a super fanatic fan. I still am, but let me explain what I'm saying. Where I used to, years ago, I didn't want to hear nothing. I'm laying people out, But now that I have, been quote unquote covering the Steelers for the last 3-4 years, doing podcasts and things like that, I'm way more objective about it. I'm still a diehard fan. I'm still ready to tear hair out and all of that when we lose. But when I review the game and I review what we have in our team, I do it in a more, objective manner. So it's kind of like I can dissect real things that affect this and, play calls and the business side of I could do separate all those components and take my fanism out of it. So I say all that to say, yeah, man, I mean, listen, to me, this was a pretty decent showing tonight. It was what I expected. Remember, I kept saying last week on Terrible Towel, I was like, yo, what's Ben going to be? I kept saying he might be a little rusty. You know what I'm saying? So I expected that. I wasn't sure what the defense would look like early because, again, regardless, we can look at these other teams. We can look at what Kansas City did and what Baltimore did to Cleveland and some other teams who had but you could also look at teams like the Bucks. Tom Brady didn't have the best game yesterday. There's going to be teams and players that are affected different by this whole pandemic situation with no OTAs, no preseason. It's going to take certain teams to get going. The beautiful thing about it tonight, instead of us saying, man, don't worry about it, man. We dropped, we lost week 1. We'll rebound. Instead of us saying that, they actually found a way to win while still not looking that great. That is a positive thing. Why Diggy says, hopefully DeCastro is healthy. Fowler might have to slide back to right tackle and Dotson at right guard. But we'll see how it goes, though. Yeah, maybe we get to see the Mauler early. Maybe we get to see what Dotson got early, man. Gold Sufton, I think it says there. I can't all the way see it, but it says Benny showed some surprising burst on that 30-yard run. Little hesitation and blue pass to Brill Peppers. That was impressive. Yeah, I talked about that earlier in the show. Yeah, it was really nice to see him get that little, see what I'm saying? He did exactly what all Steelers running backs that have come in heavy, and this has been the last several years because, the Steelers go big, started with Bill. They all come in that second year, slimmed down, got a little more pop to him. Even Jalen Samuels came back last season and he was a little faster, you know what I'm saying? A little lighter. We saw it with Benny Snell tonight, and I'm happy with what Benny Snell can offer us, man. Cesar Diaz says, we need to appreciate the win and improve. After the season we had last year, let's be thankful we scored that many points finally. Absolutely. Bill Cox says, Snell and McFarland for the 1-2 punch. Connor showed us nothing. Yeah, man. I'm not gonna beat Connor up because part of it I know was the offensive line, but I would definitely, when I get a chance to review the game again, the same offensive line seemed to find a way for Benny Snell. So, got to look at it like that. And unfortunately, Connor just can't stay healthy. Connor just can't stay healthy, man. And it's an unfortunate thing. I love the kid's story. The dude beating cancer and all of that. I'm always going to be a fan of his. I'm one of those nutty guys that watch everything. I remember when they showed, the Hey Rookie and all that, when he got drafted and how emotional it was with him and his family and his brothers. I knew what that was, because of how far he came. So I really root for him, but it's a what have you done for me lately type of business, man. Unfortunately, he just doesn't stay healthy. Some players are just hit with that. Charles Faircloth says, Hi Smith looked good, almost got his first sack. Man, I was screaming. Leonard would tell y'all, I was like, get him, get him, get him. I thought he was going to get his first sack, man, but at least he got that pressure right there. So, yeah, he's looking as advertised. Railfax says, Sim, even though Minka left his post on the TD, I kind of don't blame him. He stepped up to help cover Ingram, and the assignment tonight was to stop Barkley. Clearly, he did struggle, though. Yeah, he didn't have his best game. And again, like I said, once we concede it, I want to see it from the All-22. Got to put some blame on Minka, but also, man, Steven Nelson just let that boy run right past him. Now, again, Slayton got speed with it. Yikes. Yowza. Let's see. Let's read a few more of these. I think I skipped one. Joe Chile says, haven't been able to catch a live stream in a few months. Offense started out slow, but looked better than last year by a mile, even with a rusty band. Absolutely. And I appreciate you guys, man, saying that you've finally been able to catch a live. It's always cool to see that, man, because I never really know who my audience is post live, right? Even when sometimes the show does fairly decent as far as views, you never get to know who didn't see it live, right? You can read comments, so it's always cool to kind of see some of you guys say, oh man, I've been trying to catch it, so I can kind of identify the names, if that makes sense. So I appreciate that. Who else we got here? Lowe says, appreciate Mike Hilton, always been a dog for us. Yeah. I can't disagree with that at all, man. Not at all. I mean, I literally cannot disagree with that. Mike Hilton, tough little guy, man, and it sucks because I think Hilton could end up being a guy that we don't retain. And it's, it's business. It sucks. It kind of sucks. Builder's Life. What up, Builders? He said, hope you could give us an hour tomorrow and not cut us short. Because those Thursday Madden streams be like 2 hours and 30 minutes. But, I have a host. I have a host with me on the gaming, podcast. But, Kenyon come on tomorrow. I mean, like I said, mostly the post game show is usually intended to be shorter. Remember what I said last year, the Terrible Towel Tuesday will start to be longer because, of course, we'll do film study and all of that. But what I'm also looking to do, guys, is I'm looking to add a third stream. And I'll let you guys kind of decide what that will be. I think the third stream might just be like a precursor, like after, and I want to do it like after Friday's practice. After that third day of practice, so we kind of have an idea of the injury report. So I wanted to kind of be like that, to still a report. We'll kind of talk about, what we might be looking at going into that week, since all of the injury report stuff is in. So we'll see. I want to try to commit to that. It's hard for me to commit a day, whether it's Friday or Saturday. But, as we get into it, once I add that and I can get my schedule rotated right, then, we'll make it happen. So I say all that to say, again, I wish I could do this full time and maybe you guys will push me to that, blow my channel up and I could focus primarily on this, but I got, I got so much going on. I can't just give so many hours all the time. Maybe a Q&A. Maybe a Q&A. Yeah, I thought about that as well, Wade Johnson. Maybe that would be what it is. We'll do the quick injury report and then an open Q&A to allow you guys to get your shot off and all of that, like y'all do when y'all call in. Let me see. One or two more. Michael Garman, I agree with that. Quiet, but a good game. Devin Bush had a fairly good game. I love how he put it on Barkley when Barkley tried to leap. Bush had enough of that. And Bush had, some sneaky good pass coverages as well. So he had a pretty decent game. I haven't looked at the stats yet to see, what total numbers were as far as tackles and all. But yeah, definitely had a pretty decent game. Let's see. I want to read one. Give me another one from somebody I haven't read yet. Give me another one. And let me comment while I wait for another chat to read. I'm upset too, man. I'm a man that said he was in Jersey. I'm upset too, man, because I guess he would be my brother-in-law. My wife's sister's husband has season tickets to the Giants, and they've now moved to Tampa, and the opportunity may have came to where myself and my wife's uncle, I call him my uncle as well, we probably could have went the game. He's a Giants fan. He's still in New York. I would have loved to have done that tonight, but unfortunately, we all know that couldn't be possible. So that kind of sucked because we had talked about that early on, early in the spring, like, before COVID really popped up. Matter of fact, we talked about it in the last winter. We were saying, oh man, next season, maybe we could all go to that game, but, wish we could have, but we just couldn't. All right, I'll read this last one. Brother Mark 1992 says, thank God we didn't turn. I think he wanted to say thank God we didn't turn the ball over tonight. Disregard my comment right there. Forgot the muff punt. Yeah, but hey, I know what you were saying though. So let's modify that a little bit. Thank God Big Ben didn't turn the ball over. How about that? Yeah. I'll comment on that real quick, and then I'll be out of here. Well, two people, because I don't think I read CFB Jarrett. I'll comment on what he said in Real Facts, and then I'm gonna go ahead and shut us down. CF Jarrett says, I think Minka will keep improving and getting better in his group. Yeah, Minka gonna be all right, man. Listen, Minka played outstanding last year. He'll be fine. And like somebody else said on the call, these guys got to get their chemistry together and everything. A little rust is to be expected. Real Fact says we need to put the Juju is not a number one receiver comments to rest. I'm just saying, man, don't give up on Juju, guys. I've been saying that. I've been saying we're going to have to judge him when Roethlisberger's back. Clearly, Roethlisberger was working him tonight, right? Clearly. He was going to get Juju involved. We'll see how things go against stiffer competition. But again, I think you guys are going to see Juju return back to form because we got a lot of guys that can do some things. I think Deontay Johnson, he keep receiving the ball the way he's doing. He's going to draw some coverages perhaps, or they're going to allow more single situations. Just imagine a situation where it's Juju, Washington, Johnson, and Claypool all out there, and Ebron at the same time. So just hold tight. I keep saying this is the last one, but I will read these final two. Drew and Ethan Leach, and then we're done. Drew says, all in all, I'm glad to finally see Ben out there with the team and get a W. Don't know how much longer he will have of that. That is very true, man. The days of Roethlisberger is going to be coming to an end soon, guys. And I was a little scared when I saw him favoring his knee early in the game. And then Ethan says, Smith-Schuster looked happy and having fun again. Glad him and Ben are back and doing well. And did y'all catch it at the end when Ben was doing his interview when Juju came through and was like, my quarterback? Yes. He's not going to outright say it, but yes. Of course they were in favor of Duck and Mason last year because that's all they had. But why wouldn't you not want Big Ben back at the helm? But all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here, man. We finished up. Here's an hour and 24 minutes, so not too bad of a show. We're going to go ahead and get up out of here. But again, man, before y'all go, I have to remind you guys to do this. 3 simple things. Subscribe if you haven't. Click on your notifications so you know when videos are up. and hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. If you like it, like it. All right. And as well as you saw people do here tonight, if you ever feel like you want to donate, you can definitely do so in the chat through YouTube if you prefer elsewhere. Because thank you again to you guys who have done this. If you prefer a Cash App or PayPal, that information is in the description as well. I thank you in advance. But outside of that, I hope everybody has a good night. If you are a football buff like I am, most of you are, go ahead and watch this second half. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, Terrible Towel Tuesday again. Tomorrow we'll have Kenyon on so you guys can verbally hear his assessment of the team and or, what pieces we might need to switch around now. Maybe we'll have a little more information about Banner tomorrow. Excuse me. And then the rest of it we'll just open up to the callers. All right. Catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Be safe. God bless. And thank you for tuning in to the Terrible Towel post-game show. Peace.